Good evening. Welcome to another Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Yay! So, I'm going to introduce Dan the man. So, for close to a decade now, Dan has thrived on primarily all raw vegan foods, with his exuberance, passion, and radiant serving as a living example of what raw foods and real living can do for the human body, mind, and spirit. Through daily video postings on his Liferegenerator YouTube channel, Dan connects with people from all walks of life as their coach, teacher, and raw food chef, consistently delivering a healthy dose of his self-deprecating humor, realness, and rawness. After just 6 months of posting daily videos on YouTube, Dan took the raw food world by storm when he swept the top 3 awards at the Best of Raw for 2009. He won Best Raw Vegan Educator, Best Raw Vegan Chef, and most notably, Sexiest Raw Vegan Male. Here's Dan the man talking about how to become the Liferegenerator.
How I became or how I'm becoming the Liferegenerator. Can you dig it? T-shirts will be available soon. So this is my first public talk, actually. I usually am speaking into a little camera. That's my comfort zone, but I'm pretty comfortable here. I think the adrenaline is from all you guys. You're excited. What's he going to talk about? Well, he doesn't know either. Do you guys like raw foods?
Yes.
Raw foods? This side likes raw foods. Does this side like raw foods?
Yes. We do.
I love raw foods. I can totally dig raw foods, big time. You know what I like about raw foods? My favorite raw foods, and I do this for all the viewers, because I don't know if you guys know me or not. Has anyone seen the guy on YouTube?
Yes.
You look familiar, young lady. Yeah, you. Are we friends on Facebook? So, can I see the hands again of who saw the videos? Okay, so not everybody knows what Dan does. He does a daily YouTube show, and he is very passionate about helping people to improve their lives. And you know, it's not just about raw food anymore. At first it started out, I was in front of my RV and I was screwing around with this little camera, and I made a video in front of our RV, and I think I made some juice or some grapefruit juice or something, and it was like a 2 or 3 minute video, and then I posted that on YouTube. And you know, screwing around. It took me like a week to figure out how to post a video, because I have about the technology understanding of like a, I'm not even going to say, there's nothing I can compare it to. Like, I'm just not there. Like, I can move the mouse around and click on Facebook and click around on YouTube and watch a video, but other than that, I've got a lot of tech support. And so anyways, I posted a video on YouTube, and then a bunch of people were like, hey dude, that was really cool, man. Thanks for the help. And I'm like, okay, right on, you know? So I put another one, you know? I put another video up about a week later, maybe a salad or a green juice or something, you know? And I've been grubbing on raw foods for about 10 years. I started raw foods overnight from, I was about a 200-pound bodybuilder, competition form, hyped up on every kind of stimulant you could imagine, using downers to come down at night, marijuana, alcohol. So I would up in the morning, and I'd work out all day and eat millions of calories, and then I'd smoke weed and drink alcohol every night, and I did that every day for a long time, and I was a mess. My life was horrific. And I was walking through this bookstore one day, and this dude goes, hey, do you want to know the real truth? And I was like, well, but of course. And he handed me this little $1 pamphlet called the Essene Gospel of Peace. Has anyone ever heard of that? A great piece of literature that has the ability to change a man's life vary dramatically in the course of a matter of 180 direction. When it says, you know, when you eat meat, you eat your brother. You know what I'm saying? Talking about when you eat the life, you become alive. And when you eat the dead, then you can pretty much figure out what that leads to. A very powerful book, wrote about 2,000 years ago. Then it was translated. It was on some scrolls in the archives in the Vatican by an author named Skelly, who was a translator, and he was working with the Pope in the archives, so he had access to these ancient writings, and he took this writing and he rewrote it for everybody. And so, of course, the Vatican likes to keep a lot of things out of people's hands. So this book was about fasting and raw foods. And pretty much a light bulb the size of this 20 suns went off in my head. And I quit eating meat that night, and I began to quest. What is raw foods? I never even heard of it before, you know? And so my first 2 years on raw foods, anyways, I quit bodybuilding, just pop, you know, done. I just knew I was done with that. Now, I still lift weights, and I love that. But trying to get bigger all the time so that I can be happy one day and get girls and impress people and try to fit into some kind of strange mold with a lot of pressure and stress, meaning you're not good enough, change, get bigger, and then you'll be good enough. But no matter how big I got, the dysmorphia, which is a disease that means no matter how big you get, it's like the reverse of anorexia. So dysmorphia, no matter how big I got, I was not big enough. Oh, Lord have mercy. I was a mess. Raw foods, baby. I was just like all over it. I went and got me a couple goats. I was on raw foods for 2 weeks. Called my parents. I said, Mom, Dad, I gotta come home. Can I live on the farm for a while? I gotta get my head screwed on right. The raw foods woke me up and made me want to go back to nature where my parents live and grow vegetables. And I got a couple of goats and I started walking around with bare feet. And I started to do the communions with the earth, the morning communions and the evening communions. And I began to change my consciousness in powerful ways. In the morning I would connect with the Mother Earth through these writings, through the Essene writings. Anybody heard of the Essenes before? Yeah, the Essenes, an ancient, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and then the less well-known, the Essenes. So I did these communions every morning and every night, and a friend of mine gave me a 17-foot trailer, and I moved that onto my parents' property, and I turned this little trailer into a life regeneration station where I began to learn about the raw foods. Woke me up to spirituality, nutrition, and I would learn about nutrition, and then finally the raw foods, and finally books by Yogananda would pop into the scene, and I began to learn more about spirituality. So the raw foods led me into the spirituality. Now raw foods to me is only one tool that I use in a life regeneration program. I became the life regenerator on YouTube, which I'll come back to because I know that's where this story started, and I tend to get off on tangents. But anyways, Life Regenerator became the Life Regenerator. I put that up maybe a few years ago as my YouTube username. You know, everybody has a username and they're all really weird. Mine was the Life Regenerator because I was very interested in tissue regeneration. I studied with Robert Morse, if anybody's heard of him. Anybody? Robert Morse, naturopath. Uses fruits and herbs to heal. The opposite of a lot of, everybody's got this I'm afraid of fruits trip. And that's cool. But I don't dig it. I eat fruits, I eat vegetables, I eat soaked nuts and seeds. And I go with the flow of my own go. You know, if I didn't eat fruits on this bike ride, I wouldn't make it, you know. But there's other times when I want to cleanse and get into some meditation, and I'll eat more of the green stuff. If you eat the green stuff, you're going to go like this. And it's really good to alkalize tissues and get the tissues and the fluids flowing, you know, and to build mineral reserves. Because as you know, acidity is coagulating, anionic and binding, and alkalinity is dispersing. And so we can get those fluids functioning again with the alkaline minerals. So it's real simple. You're sick? Oh, alkalize. You don't need to know anything.